Okay, gang, today we're playing Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragons expansions. I don't have the box anymore, so you're going to have to deal with this. Stay tuned for how to play the game. Okay, to set up Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragons expansion, first thing we're going to do is take the 84 land tiles from the base game. We're going to place them face down. Alright, next we're going to take the 30 land tiles from the Princess and Dragon expansion. We're going to take these. We're also going to flip them face down. Then we are going to combine them with the base game land tiles, give them a nice shuffle, mix them up nice and well. And we're going to make a couple of tree piles of these tiles and set them off to the side of the player area where everybody can reach them. Or at least one person can pass them around to other people. Next, we're going to take the starting tile from the base game, the one with the lighter sea and the darker background. We're going to flip that over, placing it in the center of the table where everybody can reach it. So we're going to take the scoreboard. We're going to place that off to the side of the play area. Now we're going to take the dragon and the fairy tokens, and we're going to place them off to the side of the scoreboard. If your base game came with these 5,100 additional score tokens, I'd put them off to the side of the board, especially in a two-player game. Each player will choose a color they want to use, and they will take the player pieces of that color. Alright, they will take 8 of these small meeples. They'll make a supply of that in front of them for their using of the game. They're going to take one of these meeples and place it on the 0 space of the scoreboard there. Any unused player pieces will be returned to the box. They will not be used for the game. The final step of setup for Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragons expansion is to select the first player. The rulebook suggests the youngest player goes first. You can do this however you want, and that is it. You are now set up to play Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragon expansion. Now, Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragon expansion is the base game of Carcassonne, which if you know how to play, I suggest you go watch a video and see, because, you're going to be lost if you don't. But it's basically the base game with a few new rules. A basic overview of the base game is players will take turns drawing and placing tiles legally somewhere on the board, connecting to other tiles, city to city, field to field, road to road, etc. They will then have an opportunity to claim and or score a feature if it is completed, and then play will go on to the next player. This will continue until the final tile is drawn in place, at which point players will do an end game scoring, and whoever has the most points wins. That's basically Carcassonne in a nutshell. The Princess and Dragons expansion adds a few new tiles to the game. The first one is this guy here, which has a tunnel going underneath this city space here. We're going to ignore this dragon symbol for the moment, but if a player were to place this tile, they could claim it like normal. They could claim either the city, the field, or the road. All right. However, unlike other tiles that have a road on either side, this road continues under the city. So if it were to be finished at some later point, say this tile came out and finished the road and this end were finished, this would count as 1 point, all right, not 2. So it'd be 1 point for whatever was here starting the road, 2, 3, 4 points. And then at the end of the game, it would be 1 point for each tile that is incomplete for the feature. All right, so if there was 3 tiles for the road, it would be 3 points. Now, if you were to claim the field, if you notice, the field wraps around above the tunnel, continuing on. So this is one field, not 2 separate fields, and this is one field, not 2 separate fields, but these 2 are separate from each other. All right, so if I were to claim this field and I finished the city up here, I'd be able to score that, and if I finished the city down here and it were still connected to the field, I'd be able to score down there. Likewise, if I were to place it in the city and the city were completed, I gained 2 points when it were completed, or 1 point at the end of the game if it were incomplete. The next tile we have here is a cloister within a city section of tile. Alright, if we were to place that legally and we were to claim it, we have a choice here. We could either claim the cloister or the city section. If we claim the city section, it would be like normal. When the city is complete, we score 2 points for every section of the city plus the shields. At the end of the game, 1 point for every city section plus 1 point for every shield. Now, you can lay this in a city section that you already claimed and place the people in the monastery, and it works just like every other monastery or cloister. I'll interchange these. When you surround it with 8 other tiles, you will score 9 points. 1 point for each tile surrounding it plus the tile that the monastery is on. At the end of the game, you will gain 1 point for every tile of an incomplete monastery. okay, including the tile that the monastery is on. Now, it can happen that more than one player can claim the city space with the monastery in it. One player could claim the city and a different player could claim the monastery. All right, so that's the monastery tile. Now there's 4 new icons in the game. If we look down here, we have this one, the magical portal, the princess symbol here, and then we have a volcano and the dragon. Now the volcano and dragon both interact with the dragon meeple here. We'll get back to him in a second. But these other 2 are independent of the dragon. The first one here is the princess. If we were to draw and place the princess, we could claim the city feature that it is connected to like normal, and then we would score as normal. Alternatively, if we were to place the princess tile connecting to a city that is occupied by more than one player, instead of placing your meeple in that city feature on the tile with the princess, you can instead choose to remove a meeple from that city feature, whether it be yours or another player's. So say the green player here laid this tile with the princess symbol, connected it to this city. They choose to remove the yellow player's meeple from the city, so they have sole control over the city. And then the yellow player would get the meeple that they was taken off the board, and they return that to their supply in front of them. Alternately, the green player could play this here and say instead of scoring it, the green player figured out it would never get complete. They could remove their meeple to gain a meeple to use later on, returning it to their supply. Alright, so that is the princess symbol. We have the magic portal. Once the magic portal is placed, a player has a choice. They could do one of 2 things. The first thing a player could do when placing one of these tiles with the magic portal on it is they could choose to claim one of the features on the tile like normal, a city, road, or field. Or instead of placing a meeple on that tile, they could place a meeple on any tile on the board that is unoccupied and incomplete. So, say, great player places this tile here. Instead of placing a meeple down there, claiming the feature on the tile, they chose to place it somewhere else on the board. They could place it on any unoccupied, incomplete feature. So the green player could place it on this city feature here. Okay, however, they could not claim this city feature here, even if it were another player, because it's occupied by somebody, whether it be you or another player. Now, with the portal, a farm is considered an unoccupied and complete feature. So you can use the portal to claim farms if it's unoccupied by another player. Alright, the last 2 icons involve Puffy here. Alright, we have the dragon symbol, which will have Puffy move around the board, and then we have the volcano, which will actually bring Puffy out on the board and also move him to different locations on the board depending on where the volcano is placed. Alright, we'll get back to this one in a second, but like I said, Puffy will not come out unless the volcano tile is drawn, at which case a player will simply take Puffy from off the side of the board and place him on the tile. Alright, the player cannot claim the volcano tile. And later on, if one of these volcano tiles were drawn and placed legally, let's say we place it down here, then the player would move the dragon from wherever he is on the board to the new volcano tile. And the last icon involves Puffy himself. Alright, now when these are drawn, they cannot be placed until one of the volcano tiles has been drawn and placed, and the dragon is out on the board. If you do draw these before a volcano tile is drawn, the very first one, then you would simply place them off to the side of the play area. And when one of these volcano tiles is drawn and Puffy is placed, you would take whatever tiles you threw off to the side and you would shuffle them back into the draw stack. When a player is able to draw and place one of these dragon symbol tiles, they would do it like normal, placing it down, connecting it to a feature legally, and unlike the volcano tile, they can actually claim a feature on the dragon tile that they just played. Alright, whether it be the field, road, or the cities. If a player pulled and placed a tile and did not place a meeple, they could then place the fairy, which will prevent the dragon from attacking that meeple. We'll get into how the fairy works in a second, but just remember, if you do not place a meeple, you can place the fairy instead before the dragon moves. Okay, so after the tile is pulled in place, If you do not claim it, you can place the fairy instead, and then the dragon will move. I'll get back to that in a second. But once a tile with the dragon symbol comes out, we will move Draco here, or Puffy. I'll interchange his name. All right, starting with the player who placed the tile, we will move the dragon up to 6 spaces, okay? We will move them as many of these 6 spaces as we possibly can. There's a couple caveats to the movement on that. All right, the dragon cannot go to a tile that it already has visited. The dragon cannot move in a diagonal fashion. It must go up and down, east and west, orthogonally, okay? Players will alternate turns on the dragon. So one player will move the dragon one space to one tile. Then the next player to the left will move the dragon 1 space to wherever position they want to. And then the next player to their left, and so on until you get up to 6 points of movement for dragon, or as many of those 6 points as you can. So if the dragon is moving, it will eat any meeples along the way, and those meeples will be returned to the player's supply. Okay, it could be your own meeple or another player's meeple. The dragon is not picky. A dragon cannot be moved into a space that does not contain a tile, and it can also not be moved into a space that the fairy is occupying. But when we do move the dragon, like I said, the player who placed the tile will move it first and move it 1 space. If there are any meeples on that tile, dragon will eat it, and they will get returned to the player's supply. And then the next player will decide where to move the dragon, and again, if it eats any meeples, it'll be returned to the player's supply. And it'll do this up to 6 times until it cannot. Alright, now, if we run into a situation like this, where the dragon came from this tile and was moved here, they cannot move into the space with the green meeple because the fairy is there. The only option they have is to go off the board, which is illegal. Then the dragon will end its movement, okay? Whether that is the full 6 or not. If it gets to a point where it cannot move legally, then it just forfeits the rest of its movement points. All right, and as I said, it'll eat basically all the meeples on the board. There's rules with expansions, which I'm not going to get into. This is just for this expansion, not how it intermixes with the other 7 expansions, or 8 expansions, whatever it is. All right, and the final part of the Princess and Dragons is the fairy here. I already explained how it works with the dragons, but if a player draws and places a tile and then does not claim that tile, does not place a meeple, instead they could choose to place the fairy, in which case they would take the fairy, whether it be off the side of the board or whether it's on the board with another player or by itself, and they would place the fairy next to a meeple on a feature that they choose. All right, now this fairy will be assigned to 1 meeple. So if it were in a city with more than 1 player's meeples in it, player who decided to take the fairy would assign it to their meeple, okay? And it'll take effect on the meeple that it is assigned to. All right, like I said, the first thing it does is block the dragon from entering a square with the fairy on it. In this case, the dragon would not move at all because it's cornered into this spot here. Another benefit of the fairy is, at the beginning of your turn, if the fairy is still assigned to a meeple with you, you will gain 1 point every round this happens. All right, so in this case, the green player is going to start his turn. The fairy was still with him. He would gain a point. If it were with the yellow player at the beginning of their turn, then the yellow player would gain a point every round. All right, and the third and final benefit to the fairy is, if you completed a feature, it will give you an additional 3 points to the completed feature. So if you complete a city, a road, or a cloister, and you have a fairy with a meeple that has control of that feature, you'll gain 3 additional points. If it's a tie like we have here, where the yellow and green player are tied for control of the city feature in this case, then each player would get the points that they get from the completed feature, and then whoever controlled the fairy will get an additional 3. So in this case here, we can see the green and yellow player both have control of this city here, so they would get the points equally. So it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus 2 for the shield is 12. So the green player will get 12. The yellow player will get 12 points, and then because the yellow player has the fairy next to her, she will get an additional 3 points, giving her 15. All right, If the green player had the fairy instead, then he would get the 3 points. Not both players, just one where the fairy is assigned to the meeple. All right, now when you complete a feature with the meeple, you would get the points like normal, collect your meeples, put them back in your supply, but the fairy will stay where it is. All right, so let's do a quick example of how the dragon and the fairy interact, and then we'll get on to a gameplay. All right, so say the green player drew and placed this tile here, which has the dragon symbol on it. They could place their meeple there and then claim the points for it, scoring it. Or if they do not claim it and the fairy were out with another player, they could take that fairy and place it next to them, assigning it to a meeple in a city or road or cloister, or even the farms. It's their choice. Then the green player would have to move the dragon, alternating with the yellow player. So green player would move it here. Yellow player can't attack this guy here because he has the fairy, even if it was moved just before the dragon moved. All right, so the yellow player would either have to eat her own meeple, which she wouldn't do. She'd move it up here. Then go over to the green player who would move it here. Yellow player still wouldn't go there, so we'd move it here. And so on until it went to 6 times. Now this is illegal because this cloister is finished, and they would actually score this beforehand. But I'm just trying to give you a flow of the game. Okay, and that's basically the expansion. Anytime you draw a tile and cannot legally place it, you would discard it back into the box. Except for the dragon ones in the beginning, before the volcano is pulled. Remember, they just get put off to the side and shuffled back in once the first volcano is pulled in place. And that is it. Play will continue until the last tile is drawn and placed, which time there will be a final scoring, and whoever has the most points wins the game. And that is it. That is how you play Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragons expansion. Stay tuned for the gameplay. Alright gang, Barry here. We're going to play Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragons expansion, or Carcassonne as Jen likes to call it. Speaking of which, Jen will be the yellow player. I will be the green player. This is how I keep track of stuff in my head. I will be using a few things that do not come in the game, like these dice here. These will help me keep track of the dragon, who moves it, and what spaces the dragon's moved into. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up here, but my copy is slightly different shades of gray on the back. It's a little darker for the Princess Dragon expansion. So I am going to use this bag here, which happens to be a Carcassonne bag. I do not remember where I got it. I think it was in a previous version. I'm not sure. Alright, so that is all the caveats. This will be a 2-player game. Jen will be going first because the youngest goes first, and that is Jen. And let's see what she's going to do. First thing we're going to do is shuffle the bag and draw a tile, and then place it. So Jen has the princess symbol, which will not help us this early in the game. But if I did not place a meeple and I placed the princess tile in a city with another meeple claiming that city, I could remove a meeple from that city, whether it be mine or my own, or I could just claim it like a normal city tile, as I'm going to do right now. That's what I'm going to do. Jen's going to claim the city. The princess just is too early in the game for her to take effect. It goes over to me, and let's see what I draw. Okay, I got a city section, and I'm going to place it all the way down here. And I am going to claim the city. Goes back to Jen. Alright, Jen got this piece here. I'm going to push it up away from the road a little bit. Now, Jen is not going to place a meeple. She could claim this field here. It's a little too early in the game to do that. She's going to hold off on that. So instead, what she is going to do is she's going to call the fairy out. Since she did not place a meeple, she will call the fairy out, place the fairy, and assign it to this meeple here. And now, at the next turn on, if the fairy's still with Jen, she will gain 1 point every round. And if she ever completes this castle, or city rather, I will interchange them to words, city and castle. But if she completes this, she will gain an additional 3 points. If the fairy is still with her, once she completes the feature. Goes back to me. Alright. Ooh, I draw Draco here. As we can see, it has the dragon symbol. But we haven't drawn a volcano yet, so the dragon's out of play. We will just simply put this all to the side of the board for now. Alright. unlike other tiles that you cannot place legally, they would get placed back in the box. These ones are just placed off to the side now until we pull a volcano tile. Once that happens, the dragon will come into play, and we will shuffle any tiles that we had to place off to the side back into the, the draw deck with the rest of them, and then place them. But being the volcano is not out, I had to place the tile to the side, and now I draw for another tile, and we get the princess here. Now, what I could do is put her here, not claim her, and make Jen get off the city. I think that's what I'm going to do. It goes over to Jen, and Jen did not like that. Let's see what Jen draws. All right. Jen is going to flip it right side up. There we go. All right, so she's got this road piece. She will place it over here, and she will claim this side of the road. It goes back to me. All right, I draw this castle here. Now, it also has Drago on it, but being that the volcano is not out, we're going to throw it off to the side. But before we do, this is a new tile in the game. It has a tunnel. This road continues underneath the city and then on this side of the tile. So when we score it, this would be 1 point, okay, as opposed to here where there's a break in the road, and this would be one road, and this would be another one. This is one road. All right, but gotta throw it off to the side. Let's draw another one for me, the green player. All right, we got this end cap here. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to place it up here, and I'm going to claim it, and then hopefully next round I can get the fairy. Get some extra points each round, or get some points when I complete it. Over to Jen. Jen finally drew the volcano. All right, so she's going to place it legally. What she's going to do is place it right here. She can't claim the volcano tile, so she can't place a meeple on it, but the dragon will come out and be placed on that volcano tile. And next time we draw one of these tiles with the dragon symbol on it, the dragon will move. Speaking of which, these two that we throw off to the side will now get thrown back into the bag and get shuffled in because that volcano was pulled, and now we can put them into play from here on out, even if another volcano tile is pulled. Doesn't matter. All right, so that was Jen's turn. Back to me. I really did not like that. Let's see. Ooh, I got this guy here, and I will place it here, connecting to this city. I will not place a meeple, so I can move the fairy, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to place it here to protect this guy here from the dragon. Alright, so now we have to move the dragon. It will start with me. Like I said, I'm going to be using these dice to keep track of who moves where. So, I move the dragon first since I placed it. I will choose to move up here and eat Jen's meeple naturally. Alright. Now, I could not move it here or here because there was an opening here to move him. All right, so now it goes over to Jen. Jen will move it. Well, actually, I moved him here. So Jen will move it over here. You cannot move on a diagonal, just orthogonal. Up and down, left, right. All right, so I shall move him up here. Oh, Jen's going to get this one after all. Okay, goes over to Jen. Now, I have to move him here, and Jen will move him for the sixth and final time, eating this guy up. Send it back to my supply. Drago stays there. Luckily, I had the fairy there. I would lost all of my castles, or cities, and it goes over to Jen. All right, Jen drew another volcano. Now, she can't claim the volcano. And she's not going to help me out, so she's going to place it here. So this guy moves to the volcano. Dragon always moves to a volcano, whether it's the first one or any of the remaining 5 that come out. That is the end of Jen's turn. It goes over to me. Now, I started this turn with the fairy, so I get 1 point. And I draw an end cap. I could put it here, and then all I gotta do is finish this guy up. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna claim the road. Yeah, I'll claim the road. All right, that's the end of my turn. It goes back to Jen. All right, Jen draws this one here, and oh, it's not gonna fit there, is it? No, She would like to muscle in on that, but she can't. She cannot. So let's see. She could put it over here. Actually, that's what she's going to do. She's going to put it here. She's going to grab quick 4 points. You're going to have to trust me because this camera's going to get moved and focused out wider later on. All right, she got 4, I got 1. Over to me. Got this crossroads here. Oh, I can put it right here. And I will claim this road here and gaining 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Now, the fairy's here, so I gain an additional point. So, 4 points, bringing me up to 5. And this guy goes back to my supply. Back to Jen. All right, Jen got this guy here. Again, she can't muscle in here. Oh, she could come over here, though, and try and clip what she likes to do. Clip into my stuff. She's going to do that, actually. Alright, so that is the end of Jen's turn. Goes over to me. I still got the fairy. 1 more point. And let's see what I draw. Oh, I draw this guy here. Now, I could just get it over with. Or I could hold off and see if something comes out later on, which I think I'm going to do. Let me see. The only place I could really put it is up here, which is where I will put it. And I will claim it. Told you, you're getting moved up. There, you happy now? You can see better. Alright, so I claim the city. Goes over to Jen. Alright. Oh, another volcano for Jen. So, what does Jen want to do with the volcano? She could put it here. Getting her away from me. Getting away from her. I think that's what she's going to do. Oh, no. You know what she's going to do? She's going to put it over here. Okay, which will move the dragon over here. Alright, goes back to me. Oh wait, being that Jen did not place a tile, a meeple, she's going to steal the fairy off me. Alright, now it goes over to me. I got this piece here, which is exactly what I wanted to do. We're going to cut her off. It would have been nice if I had the fairy there. I would get 3 additional points, but I did not. So I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. Bringing me up to 18. I get this guy back. Back to Jen, and Jen grabs this guy here. Let's see, she might as well add on to here, and B, she has the fairy there. She will gain a point. I actually should have grabbed that the latest round. I wasn't paying attention. Back to me. I get the dragon. Alright, so let's see. I cannot place it here. And I am going to claim the cloister. The dragon's going to move. Draco is going to eat this guy. It's only going to be 1 point. It's early in the game. I'm not worried about him. This will be more points at the end. So, as I said, Draco moves. I move him first. Move him here, devouring my own guy, unfortunately. And then it's Jen's turn. She's going to move him here. And then it's my turn. I am definitely going to move him closer to Jen. Now, it's Jen's turn. The fairy's protected, so she's not worried. This guy's protected by the fairy, so she's not worried about that. What she could do is, yeah, she'll move them here. Try and force me to move them up here or up here. So if I move them here, Jen will move them here. We might as well push them away. I'll go with Jen's plan. So I'll move them here, and then Jen will move them here. This is where I'll end up. That is the end of my turn. Goes over to Jen. She has the fairy with her. She gets a point, and she draws this tile here, an end cap. Okay, so she could finish this guy off here. Fortunately, she can't get in here yet. Waiting for a portal, and one of us is. We'll grab it with the portal. All right, so she will place it here. Try and finish this guy up next round, maybe. Over to me. All right, I got the princess. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to slide the princess in down here. I can't do that. I could steal Jen's meeple off there and nobody would claim that. That doesn't make sense. I do have enough to come in here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to claim it. I wasted all them princesses, all this one city, and didn't use it once, I don't think. All right. No, I think he's doing it with Jen. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 2 is 14. I get this guy back. Since I did deploy a meeple, I can't move the fairy. Goes over to Jen. Jen has the fairy. She gets 1 point. And it's her turn to draw. Let's see what she gets. Oh, she got a cloister or a monastery. I'll call them both. She's going to put it right here. And she will claim it. And then hopefully get the fairy there to protect it. Because it's awfully close to the dragon. It goes over to me. Alright, I got a road. I could have put it down here and claim it. But I think what I will do instead is pull the fairy away from Jen just so she stops getting points. Goes over to Jen. Jen gets another cloister. Alright, so she puts it here. It's almost done. A little close to the dragon there. We're going to stay away from that. So she is going to claim this cloister. She can't grab the fairy because she claims something. Goes over to me. Alright, I got this guy here. I can't use him there. What I can do, though, is come down this way and try and muscle in. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll claim that one. I started off with the fairy. I forgot. So I get a point. Goes over to Jen. Jen grabbed this end cap, and she's going to prevent me from doing that. So she's going to place it here. Now, she did not deploy a meeple. She could claim the fairy, which she did. And we get 2, 4, 6. There's a shield. 8, 10, 12 points plus 3 for a total of 15 points. Jen gets the meeple back. The fairy stays where it is. It goes over to me. Alright. Let's flip it so you can see what it is. Ooh, got a nice city piece. Ooh. I'm going to add it on here. Try and finish my monastery / cloister. And build onto my city. I am not going to place anything, so I'm going to move the fairy over here to my monastery. Over to Jen. Jen draws this guy here. She's going to place it here. She's not going to claim it yet. She's going to grab the fairy. This guy's got to be moving soon. It's a game of chance. You know, push your luck with these tiles. Alright, so I draw the end cap. Oh, I'm going to put it here. Just so I can finish this up. I'm going to take that fairy off of her. Put it back up there. Actually, I'm going to put it on the cloister. Alright, it goes over to Jen. Jen gets the road, turn in the road. She can't put it there. It would be nice. She screwed herself there. But she can put it up here. And that's what she's going to do. She's going to make it U-turn. No, you know what? She'll turn it this way. And she could claim that. She wants to protect this and make it so I don't get a point. She's going to take the fairy. Goes over to me. Get this guy. Alright. And now the question is, do I want to widen this even more? Might as well. Alright, so I'm going to place it there. I'm just going to get 2 quick points. I'll claim this. Sick of fighting her with the fairy. 1, 2. Goes over to Jen. Jen has the fairy. She gets a point. Bring it up to 24. Let's see what we get. She gets this end of the road sucker here. And she's going to place it right here. She will claim this road here for 2 quick points. 1, 2. And that is the end of that. It goes back to me. Alright, I got this piece here. I got to start closing this off. I do want to finish this monastery. Alright, so there we go. I'll place that there. I am going to take this off her, put it back on the monastery since I'm not claiming anything. It goes back to Jen. Jen gets a city piece. Ooh, let's see. You know what? She's going to put it here. Finishing this cloister. She's going to claim this guy here. And grab 9 quick points. And we are now tied. It goes back to me. I get a point because the fairy's with me at the cloister, and I draw this guy here. Alright, let's see. I'll run a road out this way. Am I out of shot yet? Almost. I already got that down. I might as well clean the road. It goes over to Jen. Alright, Jen draws a straight road. She will place it here. Try to finish this cloister here. Yeah, she'll clean the road. Think about grabbing the fairy so I could get that additional point. But next time I lay the tile, if I don't lay a meeple down, I get to move the fairy anyway. So it goes over to me. I do have the fairy, so I get 1 point. 1 point giving 37. I draw a cloister. Alright, now I'll put it over here. Alright, and I will claim it. Goes over to Jen. Jen draws his turn in the road, which she will place right now. And being that she is not claiming anything, she will move the fairy to her here. So now she will get 12 points. 9 for the cloister, plus 3 for the fairy. This will go back to her. It goes back to me. Alright, I lost the fairy. Got this end cap, yeah. We're going to use this one here. And claim this one over here. We're going to try and close this guy up. Get some points. Alright, back to Jen. Jen grabs this guy here. She will, she'll place it down here. And she will claim it. Goes over to me. Alright. Ooh, I got the princess. Ooh, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to place it there, I think. Not claim it, and then I can take her off. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to play with that too much. I'm going to place this up here. I am not going to remove one of my meeples. And hopefully we close that off the next round. It goes over to Jen. But being that I did not deploy meeple, I'm going to grab this guy here. And I'm actually going to place it with the city guy. Hopefully finish off the city and get some points. Alright, over to Jen. Oh, the dragon's going to move tonight. Alright, Jen's going to place this here. Closing this guy off. She's going to steal the fairy protecting her from it. And then she will move the dragon. So, dragon's going to go 1. I am going to move it this way. Jen's going to move it down this way. Then I will move it over here. Jen will move it here. And I will have to move it here. Because I can't move it in with the fairy. So that is the end of Drago's movement. It goes over to me. And I have this guy here. So I'm going to place it here. Alright, I'm not going to claim anything, but I'm going to move the fairy over to me. It goes back to Jen. Jen gets a cloister. There's not a spot she can slide. Well, let's be beneficial to each other. Alright. I'm going to help her out. She's going to help me out. She'll claim that guy. She did not move the fairy, so I get a point. It goes over to me. Let's see what I draw. Alright, I only got 1 meeple left. I got this city spot here. Would be nice. I could just finish this up. Hope we'll get something down here. Or I could start a new one with my last. Won't help me with the cloister. Won't help me up here either. Down here, I can't even place it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to choose not to claim it. And I'll just leave the fairy where it is. It goes over to Jen. Jen draws this road. Alright, like I said, she's going to help me. And I'm going to help her. She is going to draw or place that there. She's not going to claim it. Because it's already claimed by one of her meeples. She's going to move the fairy, though. Try and help her. Alright. Which is lucky she did. The next one is me, and it is a dragon. Unfortunately, I cannot place it up here. But I can place it down here. And I will not claim anything, because I'm going to grab the fairy and protect myself. So I move it first. And naturally, it's going to go closer to Jen. Jen's going to move it up here. I will move it over here, which was probably a mistake. I'm going to move it up here. Jen will move it here. Me, Jen. You know what? I'll move it here. Might as well trap it. And Jen will move it here. Can't move any further. That's the end of the dragon's movement. And it goes back to Jen. Alright, Jen's got this. You know what, she'll place it up here, and she will take the fairy off of me. It goes back to me. I got another cloister. I'm going to put it up here. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put it up here, and I will claim that cloister, which is almost out of your shot. Goes over to Jen, who still has the fairy, so she gets a point. And she drew... Oh, she drew the portal. Let's place it first. We'll place it here, which will get her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, bringing her past the 0, which means she has 50 points. So we place one of them tiles down. Before I did that, she didn't place a tile, so she could move this guy over here, which she's going to do. She's going to do that, gain 3 additional points. So 1, 2, 3. She collects this, goes back. Now, she could choose to either claim the road, which she already did, so she can't do that. Or she could do this road, or she could claim the field if she wanted to. Or she could claim any unoccupied, incomplete feature on the board. So if she wanted to, she could come over here and claim this road here. All right. Or say this one wasn't completed, she could claim that, but it is completed. So let's see. You know what she will do? She's gonna claim the field. All right, cause we got a couple here that are already completed. This one's working on it, so she knows she's got some points. All right, so that's the end of Jen's turn. Goes over to me. Let's see. Ooh, we moved the dragon though. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is place it up here. And I am going to move the fairy because I am not going to claim anything. And I'll put it there with that guy. All right. Now it's completed. I'm going to score it, and then we're going to move the dragon. So I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 points. All right. Plus 3 for the fairy. 1, 2, 3. I take this one back. But I leave this one back here with the monastery because the monastery is not completed. All right, now Draco moves. So I move Draco first, and I'm going to move him here, forcing Jen to eat herself. And that's what she's going to do, placing her meeple back into her supply. And we're going to wait for the beaker butts to get done with the earthquake. Sorry about that. All right, so that was Jen's move. I added a red die, so I know where he started. The dragon started from. It is my movement. I will move him. You know what? I'll move him away from me. I'll move him up here. Okay, Jen shall move him out here, closer to me. I shall move him up here, and Jen will move him over here. Alright, that's the end of Drago. Goes over to Jen. Jen does not have the fairy. She has this road piece here. Well, you know what she could do? She could come down here, and she's going to claim this piece right here. This road, remember, goes under the castle. So, let's get some length there. Goes back to me. Ooh, I got a cloister with Draco moving. So, fortunately, I can't put it up here and finish off this cloister because there's a road there. Could put it over this way here. I think that's what I'll do. And I'll claim the cloister with my final meeple. Now I gotta move a Draco. So Draco starts off here. I want him away from me, so I'll move him back 1. Jen will move him 1. I'll move him down. Jen will try and get over to me, obviously. And then, see if I move him down, she's going to move him here. If I move him here, she's going to move him here. Either way, he's getting close to me. I might as well go here. And then, like I said, she'll put him here. That is the end of Drago. Or Puffy. It goes over to Jen. All right. Oh, she could finish this guy off right now. I think that's what she's got. Oh, no, it's still open on one side. But it is points. So she's going to claim this guy right here. It goes back to me. I got this end piece. I'm going to finish this guy off here, but before I do, I'm going to grab the ferry because I didn't claim anything. So 2, 4, 6, 8 points plus 3 for 11 points over to Jen. Jen's got this road. Unfortunately, she can't put it there. She could continue this guy here. That's what she'll do. She didn't claim anything, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, she's going to assign the ferry to this guy right here. Over to me. All right, I got this road piece. With the end of a castle, I finished everything. Could come over here and grab 4 quick points. Unfortunately, I can't finish this cloister. It would help her. I can't help this one either. I could put it like this. Yeah, I might have to bite the bullet there. Just try and get this cloister done. Alright, yeah, that's what I'll do. So Jen will score on this road, but do I want to claim it? Yeah, I might as well claim the city. Alright, so Jen gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points off of that guy. Sometimes it beats like that. Alright, so 5 and 8 is 13. Goes over to Jen. Alright, Jen has this double piece. Alright, Jen's going to place it here and claim this guy here. It will complete this castle or city. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 10, 12 points plus the ferry is 13 points. Bringing her up to 26 or, 76. Alright. She gets this back. Ferry stays where it is. Goes over to me. Oh, we got a road. There we go. I'm going to finish this guy up. But before I do, I'm going to move the ferry to this cloister here. That'll finish that up for 9 plus 3. For 11 points. Got to leave the ferry there. Brings me up to 101. I could have flipped it. I'm just going to do this because it's probably going to lap at least one more time. The bag's about a third of them left. Alright, so that is the end of my turn. It goes over to Jen. Jen grabs this road piece here. You know what? She will add it here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And that's only 2 points. She's going to move the ferry over here to the road. Goes back to me. Alright. I got this other road and I move Puffy. She can't put it up here to help this one. Could put it here. You know what? I will put it there. And I am going to take the ferry and place it here. Alright. Now we move Puffy. So he starts here. I will move him 1 towards Jen. Jen will try and get him away from that meeple or this meeple, but I will continue to go over as much as I can, as Jen will push it further away as much as she can. And here and here. Alright, that is the end of Puffy. Goes over to Jen. Alright. Ooh, Puffy moves again. Alright. Could put it up here. And, but it might hurt me. Oh, it will be 8 points at least. Maybe I'll do that. Alright, and since I'm not going to claim anything, I'm going to move that there, the ferry there, and Puffy moves. So Jen will move them first. Let's see. She's going to move them here, and then I will try and move them away. And then I will move them here, or she will move them here, and I will move them here. And Jen will move them here, and then I will move them here. Okay, and that's the end of Puffy. Whoops. This was in Jen's field, which is probably worth more than anything else she has going right now. Alright, so that is the end of that. It goes over to me. I got this road piece. It's enough. It's enough. I'm going to finish the cloister here. Before I do, I'm going to move this guy over there for an additional 3 points. Leave him there. Take that back. So 9 and 3 is 13. Goes over to Jen. Jen's got the crossroad. And Puffy moves again. So what she's going to do is she's going to finish off this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She is going to move this before she does for 3 more points, bringing her up to 11 points. So 37 points. And now we move Puffy. Let's see. I'm just going to move him away from me. So there. And then Jen's going to move, or I'm going to move him up 1. Jen will go back 1. I will come down 1. Jen will go here, and that'll force me here. So he just basically went in this giant circle. Over to me. Alright, we got a road with an end cap. Fortunately, we can't put it here. It would help her out anyway. Let's see. What am I at room-wise? I'm going to place it here. And then I'm going to claim this city. Goes over to Jen. Jen draws this double end cap. So what she'll do is she'll gain 2 quick points here, or 4 quick points here, and then she'll claim this guy here. It goes back to me. Alright, I got this guy here. Let's see. Think, oh, I can't do it that way, can I? No. Could do it this way. But that'll hurt me. So I think what I'll do is I'll place it this way, and then being that I am not placing anything, I'll grab the fairy. It goes over to Jen. Oh, Jen's got a cloister. She can put it right here. It's almost done. She needs 3 more tiles. Anywhere else, that'll get her there quicker. Up here is the same thing. And she's got to depend on that. She don't want to do that. Yeah. She's going to place it here. And she will claim it. It goes over to me. Alright. I had the fairy, so I get a point. And I got this guy here. So let's see. 14. I'll place it this way so I can move out that way. That's the end of that. Goes over to Jen. Jen's got the volcano. Let's see. Could put it here. But the dragon over there, she don't want to do that. She's going to place the volcano right here. Dragon moves. She did not place anything, so she's going to take this guy. She'll put it here. It goes over to me. I did not like that too much. Alright. Get this guy here. Let's see. Alright, I adjusted the board. I don't want to send you to the moon with the camera so you can see everything. So, we're just going to trust that this guy is up here. I'm not going to claim it. I do have 1 meeple left, too. I could. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to try and finish up that cloister up there. Alright. Being that I did not claim anything, I'm going to take this guy off of Jen. Put him over here. He goes over to Jen. Jen has this guy here. Fortunately, she can't finish this cloister. She could come over here and grab a couple of quick points. But Jen will come out here with it, placing it here. And then she'll claim the city here. It goes over to me. Alright, I get a point because I have to get a fairy still. Oh, we drew a Draco tile. Let's see where we're going to put this one now first. You know what? I'm going to place it right here up top. Like I said, trying to finish this cloister off. Alright. I'm not going to claim it. Could claim the road, but I'm not. So it's time to move Draco. Being that I did not move anything, I'm going to move this guy over here. Or I didn't claim anything. I'm going to move him over here. So Draco will start off here at the volcano. I have to move it here. Jen has to move it up here. And that is the end of Draco's turn. That was pretty quick. Alright, so it goes over to Jen. Jen's got this end cap. Again, she can't place there. She can place it here, though. And she will claim the city. It goes over to me. I had the fairy. I get a point. Let's see what I draw. Oh, alright. This guy will go right here. And I'm going to leave the fairy right where the fairy is. That is the end of my turn. It goes over to Jen. Jen is this road piece. It's not helping her with that. Alright, might as well place it here. She's not going to claim anything, but she will steal the fairy and place them down here with this field meeple. It goes over to me. All right. Ooh, this is not. Could have been worse. All right, I'm going to place it there. And then being that I did not claim anything, I'm going to move the fairy back. In case Draco moves. I don't remember how many dragon symbols there are. All right, back to Jen. Jen's got this portal. There's really nothing that is unoccupied. That is incomplete, is there? Nah, so this won't really help her too much. So what she will do... Oh, no, you know what? She's going to place it, and she is going to use the portal. She is going to claim this field here. Okay, incomplete. So she can score these 2 castles, maybe this one. All right, now she does score this one, 4 points. 4 points. Being she deployed a meeple, she can't get the fairy, so it goes back to me. I do have the fairy. I get 1 point. And I got this guy, the princess. Princess. Unfortunately, princess isn't helping me out too much right now. I will claim this field, though. Getting close to the end of the game. It goes back to Jen. All right, Jen gets this end cap. Oh, I finished this off for Jen, so Jen gets 9 points. Bringing her up to 102. She's going to place it right here. And she's going to place this guy here. Try and backstab me like Jen normally does. Alright. Goes back to me. I do have the fairy. I get a point. And this road piece here, which I'm going to place right here and finish up this cloister before I do. The additional points for the safety. I'll push it. Alright. I want to move the fairy. Get an additional 3 points. I might have got too greedy on that. So, brings it up to 11, 29. Goes over to Jen. Alright, Jen has this city piece, which is exactly what she wanted. She's going to place it here, and she is not going to claim anything, so she's going to move the fairy over here to her. And, well, there is a portal. Doesn't make sense. She could actually come in here at a field. Backdoored it that way. But nah, that makes sense. Alright, so over to me. I draw this piece here, which I'm going to place here. Try and finish this guy up. I have a meeple. I am not going to light. I am going to move the fairy here. Alright, goes over to Jen. Jen draws the volcano. Alright, let's see. Where is the volcano going to help her? Can't put it here for her cloister, unfortunately. She can't place it here. She could place it here. She doesn't want to do that. Jen's going to place it up here. And that moves Draco all the way over here. Being she couldn't claim anything, she will take the fairy and place them here. Hopefully, get that cloister finished the next round. Goes over to me. Oh, I moved Draco. And this piece, let me see. Could put it here. Or over here. I'll put it up here until we see what happens with Draco. But I do get this guy. I'm going to put him on the road here with him. Alright. Draco starts here. I move him first. Have to come here, and then Jen will come here. I will move him up here. Jen will move over here, and he can't go anywhere else because these do not have tile, so he's stuck there. Alright, that is the end of Draco, and my turn goes over to Jen. Jen draws another Draco tile. Alright, let's see. She can finish this guy over here. She will do that. Maybe she's not going to let anything. She's going to move the fairy and get 7 points. And then we move Draco, and she will move him here, chopping this guy up. I will move him over here. Jen will move him down here. And then I will move him here, which will end his turn because the fairy's there. That is the end of Jen's turn. We're almost done. Maybe a dozen tiles. Goes over to me. Alright, I get this end cap. It's enough to finish this guy here. I'm not going to place anything, so I'm going to move the fairy to the cloister. I will score this for 4 points. And then an additional 11 for this, for a total of 15 points. It goes over to Jen. Jen gets this crossroads, or, fork in the road. She can do that. She's going to place it down here. I think she's going to leave the fairy up here. Oh, no, I moved the fairy. Does she want to claim it, or... You know what? Let's get the fairy. Let's move the fairy. It goes over to me. Alright, I got this piece here for the city. Might as well try and start closing this up. Being that I did not place anything, I'm going to move the fairy to me. It goes over to Jen. Alright, Jen has this crossroads here. Alright, still not helping her with that. She could place it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Yeah, she might as well. Or, no, you know what? Don't worry about Drago. Alright, what she's going to do is she's going to place it up here. She's not going to claim anything, and she's going to move the fairy with her. It goes over to me. Crossroads, another crossroads. I'm not worried about Draco right now, so I'll place it here. Yeah, alright, I'll do that. I'll claim that for a quick 4 points. It goes over to Jen. Jen still has the fairy, so she gets a point. She gets this turn in the road. Oh, and it's enough to finally finish her cloister. But now does she want to move the fairy and get the additional points, or try and survive Draco? She'll get greedy. Alright. So she's going to move the fairy and get 11 points. Goes over to me. Alright, I get this part here, which is good. I'm hoping to get a princess tile here, because we only need one more to finish this, but I'm hoping to give her the boot. I am not going to lay anything, so I'm going to place the fairy with me in case we do complete that. I get points. Hopefully. Let's see. Jen pulls this guy here, which is enough to thwart my plans. Oh no, she can't place it there. It's not enough to thwart my plans. Jen will place that right there. She'll press her luck. It's getting close to the end of the game. Alright. She could get 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 2, 4, nah. Alright, she'll wait. We'll see what happens. Nah, you know what? That might be a mistake. This road's here. Alright, you know what? She'll claim road to get 4 points. Over to me. I had the fairy, so I get additional point. And the volcano. I shall put the volcano all the way down here. Moving Puffy. Alright, I did not need to move the fairy, so that's the end of that. It's Jen's turn. She gets this castle piece here. She cannot place it that way. Alright, Jen's going to place it here. And then she's going to go to the fairy. Alright, this way, if it does get closed and the other player doesn't grab the fairy, I get the extra points, and the other player would just get the base points. I don't think it's going to work out that way. We'll see. Alright, so it is my turn. I flip this guy here. Alright, I shall place this down here. And being for that reason, I'm going to... no, you know what? I'll claim the road. Alright, over to Jen. Jen gets a road. Alright, so let's see. Jen will place it here. And claim it, and she gets a point for having the fairy, which I forgot about. Alright, goes over to me. Let's see. 3 more tiles. Alright, I grab this end piece. I can't place it here, but I can place it here. But before I do anything else, I'm gonna move the fairy to this guy here, so I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points. Plus 3 is 13, which brings me up to 152. Goes over to Jen. Alright, Jen grabs this guy here. You know what? She'll continue her road, and she shall grab the fairy. Or not yet. She's going to put it over here. Alright, goes over to me. And I'm going to finish this guy off. But I'm going to take the fairy first, getting me an additional 3 points. So, being that me and Jen share majority here, we both get the points. However, being I had the fairy, I get +3. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. We both get 28 points, bring me up to 30, and then I get an additional 3. The fairy stays, meeples go. Over to Jen for the final tile. Let's see, what does Jen have? This guy here, oh, this is not going to help her anywhere, is it? What she will do is place it up here, and then she will claim the city up here. I know it's slightly off camera, but there's I'll move them down here. There's 2 tiles there that'll make up a small city, at least at the end of the game. She'll get some points for it. Alright. So now, that is the end of the game. We will now do the final scoring and see who wins. Draco is done, along with our little fairy here. So we can take them off the board. The fairy does not count for any incomplete features. Alright, so first we'll do the roads. Jen has 1, 2, 3, 4 points for this road. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for this road. 38. Alright, now we'll go into incomplete cities. Jen gets 1, 2 points for this one, and 2 points for this one for a total of 4. I do not have any incomplete cities. There's no incomplete cloisters. All we have is farmers left, so I'll start off with me. This guy here has 1, 2 completed cities for a total of 6 points. 44. And then Jen over here, she has 1, 2 for a total of 6. 19. Then if we go down here, she's got quite a bit of points here. All right, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 there. Okay, then we come over here. 5. We loop down. 6, 7. 7 times 3 is 21, which will bring her up to 40. Ooh, that was a close game than I thought for this guy. Alright, I actually owe Jen 6 more points. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I forgot these 2. 9, so she gets 6 more points, which will pull her up to win the game. Alright, so Jen won by 2 points. Close game. And that is it. That is how you play the Princess and Dragon expansion to Carcassonne, or Carcassonne. Stay tuned for what me thinks. Alright gang, so that was Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragon expansion. This is what me thinks of Carcassonne with the Princess and Dragon expansion. For the most part, I like it. I know I ripped the big box expansion apart, or the big box game apart for quality control. I do have minor issues with the quality control on this one. Also with these portals, a little tough to see sometimes for me. You know, I just glaze by them thinking they're part of the artwork or whatnot. Could just be me. Alright, now on to the game itself. That's the minor qualms. The rule book was okay. I mean, there's additional rules on the back if you want to play with the expansions, the other expansions. I did not go over that. It was a little confusing for me with the timing of the dragon and the fairy. I figured that out eventually. But if you really pay attention, it kind of goes step by step and tells you, it's, like I said, just that timing thing with the fairy and the dragon movement. I finally figured out that the fairy moves first and then the dragon moves. Could just be the way I read it or the way it's worded. I'm not 100% sure. Other than that, I do like these volcanoes. I like that when you draw the dragon tile, it doesn't take effect till this volcano comes out. So it gives players some time to ramp out. Usually, you know, protect themselves. Kind of just luck of the draw. This volcano could come out on the second or third draw, you know. So there's that. The dragon itself. Jen likes the dragon when it doesn't attack her. She doesn't like the dragon when it does attack her. I kind of like the dragon. It adds more tension to the game, more fuckery, like all the expansions do. It also adds a bit more push your luck element to the game, which is kind of cool. I like that the fairy can mitigate the dragon from devouring your stuff, which is a big problem with the dragon. If your player doesn't like to get all their stuff, destroyed in front of them, the dragon will do that. Whether it's you or another player, it's indiscriminate. It just depends on how the players move them. I can see it working better with more than 2 players. With 2 players, it's just back and forth with the fairy and the dragon trying to, screw the other player over, block the other player with the fairy. And in a 2-player game with the fairy just getting paced and forth, back and forth, trying to get that extra point every round, or the extra 3 points for a thing you finished. Whereas with more players, I think that would be mitigated a little bit more. Every player would be getting pissed around the different players instead of just back and forth between the 2 of them. So that in itself is like a mini game with the 2-player version. I've only played this with the 2-player version, and I haven't played it with any other expansion except for the first 2 big box, the Builders and Traders, and the other one, what was it? Inns and Cathedrals. Okay, I have only played the expansion with 2 players, and Jen, she played it years ago, because we had this with the previous version of this before this big box. The 2010 or 12 version, I can't remember what it is. 2005, that's when it came out, 2005 version. So we've played this in the past. I played a few games to get myself reacquainted with it. It's going to stay in the collection. This Carcassonne is one of Jen's favorite games, if not her favorite game. This expansion will stay in it. I don't know if we'll get it played often, but it will stay in it. All right. Back to the expansion before I get into that. Like I said, I like the volcanoes, and then I like when the volcanoes come out later on, the dragon moves to the volcano. So you can't plan a whole lot for the dragon, but you can mitigate it with the fairy. Like the fairy gives you extra points. It's always good, whether it be every round or +3 when you complete a feature. All right, the princess here, I do like her. Don't use her much, but I do like her. I like that you can remove a meeple from a feature, whether it be your own or another player's. That way you could gain control over the feature if it's another player's, or if you realize you're just stuck out there in the wild, you could pull it back and be able to use your meeple for later on use. So it's cool that they introduced that to this game. The portals are cool. Like I said, I kind of miss them sometimes. They blend in their artwork sometimes for me, but I do like that you could either, place it on a feature on the tile with the portal, or you could go to an incomplete, unoccupied feature on the board. As long as nobody else has claimed it, it's not finished, including the farms. You can, have more variety on where to place a tile. As long as that tile's out there, you could place a meeple on any unoccupied, incomplete feature. So that is cool. The portals, the volcano, the dragon, princess. So that's all the new icons. Let's talk about these 2 new buildings. The tunnel is cool. I believe I've seen that in other expansions. I don't remember. I have seen this. That's always cool though. You could go on there, continue, make a long road if you want to, or you could just dominate that road section there instead of sharing it with another player, because it's 2 different roads. The missionary inside the monastery, rather, inside of the city is a cool addition. I like that. You could score the city at the monastery if you are lucky enough to do so, or one player could score the city, one player could score the monastery, as long as the monastery is completed, and the city's completed. It's a cool, interesting twist to the monastery city thing. I do like that. And like I said, overall, I do like the game in general, the expansion of the game in general. Like I said, if you don't like a lot of that back and forth, tit for tat stuff, you probably won't like this at a 2-player game. If you don't like a mean game, this expansion probably won't be for you. the expansions are always meaner than the base game in Carcassonne. All right, the base game is mean enough, but each expansion adds more meanness to the game. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't suggest picking it up. We will keep it. Like I said, Carcassonne is Jen's favorite game. It will stay in the collection. It may or may not get played often, but it will stay in the collection. The time on it is about right. It says an hour. I would say that's about right. The age is 13, I think. Seems kind of high. I don't know. I think a younger kid could grab this. I haven't played with too many kids with Carcassonne in general, but I think a 11, 12-year-old could grasp this. Time's close. 2-player game. Depending on the players, it could be 45 minutes up to an hour. Like the box said, more players than that, of course, you're going to add more time onto it. And that's it. The rulebook was okay. Components, other than the shading thing, which, it's a lot thing. I understand that, but they could have tried to match it a little better. Every time you change dies, there's a difference in coloration and stuff like that. This was printed before this one or after this one, the base game. So it's going to be variations, slight variations. It doesn't really bother me as long as you have a bag or something so you don't know, hey, this is for this expansion because the color's different on the back. Minor thing. You just need a bag. No big deal. And that's it. If you like this game or you want to check out more information on it, you could always look at VGG or elsewhere on the internet. You could always pick it up at your local game store or on the internet. And that's it. Good game and have fun. See you next time. Give me out.